ACDC, Araceli and Colette, the dynamic change. My name is Araceli, a transition wealth advisor, and I help single professional women rearrange their finances so they can pay their debt quicker and retire faster. I am here with my partner, Colette. Colette, can you tell us who you are?
Good morning, everybody. My name is Colette Rabba. I'm a residential broker, real estate broker in the GTA. So I work anywhere from Toronto all the way to Burlington, Hamilton even. I buy and sell residential real estate. But hey man, I just got lots of questions today about commercial real estate. So if you have any questions, even commercial or otherwise, you can always ask me any financial questions. That's what we're here for. Araceli will answer all your questions.
Absolutely.
Today, I wanted to, this is why I have my Believe mug today, because I know, let's just take a moment to sigh and breathe, because there are so many things going on with COVID-19. There's so much, in things that are up in the air. Let's just say, I don't want to say where they're going to live, how they're going to live, and it can be scary. And that's why we are here. So Araceli is here to give you advice on your savings, on your budgets, on, how many other things can you help people with? It's crazy, like just your finances in general.
Yeah, you know what? Finances are a big part of everybody, and we don't know how much it affects us. It's very stressful if you have lost your job, if you have reduced hours and now you don't have the income that you used to have. And even if you weren't affected. Now things have changed about what we purchase and everything else. So now is the time for reset. Take a look at, sit down, step back, and see what you're doing. Because if you weren't saving, if you weren't, let's say if you didn't have an emergency fund, maybe this is the time to set it up, because you don't know if your job is going to be there or income is going to be the same. Things keep going up and up, right? So
and from speaking from my perspective too, I'm a saver. I have always saved my whole life, but I'm feeling it now too. It has been, the CERB is over now. Things are slowing down in the real estate market, for me anyway.
Yeah.
There in certain markets, like, things are going, gangbusters, but I have to tell myself this too. And I want to share that message with you all, to believe that things will get better. And there is a solution out there, and ask for help. I am also one of those people who hate asking for help, because I think I can do it all. I can manage it all. I think of everything, and I know exactly. I have my plan B, I have my plan C, but sometimes you just need to talk to someone else to say, is there a plan D? Like what else am I not thinking of? Is there something that I should be setting myself up to succeed, or to at least, really hunker down and, it's like you can't dig yourself a hole and bury yourself, but there are other ways.
Yeah, just remember, there's always a different way to do something that you may not know about it. And when we go through change, it's very scary for everybody, because now we have to pivot and go in a different direction.
Right.
So that's what we're here for. But today we're going to be talking about.
Well, that's why this whole thing, the segue into what we're going to talk about today, because really it's October now, November, December, January, February. So you got 4 months before the hot spring market is going to happen. So if you're interested in selling your house in the near future, spring market is always the best, because that's when the most excitement comes up. Again, with COVID, we have no idea what's going to happen. Hopefully this is all going to be over with, let's just be hopeful.
Yeah.
But either way, even if COVID is still here, people will still have to sell their house. People are still getting divorced. People are still upgrading. People are still downsizing.
Yeah.
You're interested in selling your house. These are a couple tips that I put together that Araceli and I would like to talk to you about, because this is something that not only for selling your house to resell it to a family, But if you're interested in selling it as income property, if you have you know, an Airbnb or anything like this, these tips help everybody, and you need a little bit of time, and they're really, I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see my little thing that I put together. Let me see if you can see that. How's that?
Yeah.
Can you see that? Okay, so I'm going to just move my little thing there so I can maximize my screen. Okay, so this is really, really easy things that people can do. And this is something that sometimes I feel like a broken record, because these are things that I repeat to people quite often that really, they're not hard things to do. They're quite simple things to do, but let's get started. So the first thing is curb appeal. When people, and I have a couple before and after pictures just to give you an idea. And this is something that as a realtor that I come out, like I don't expect you to come up with a plan before you talk to me. Excuse me. So if you have to coffee burp, I'm so sorry. I will come in, or a good, you know, if I'm out of your area. This is something that a good realtor should come in and say, hey, listen, let's just make it look really good. Let's cut the grass. How about that?
Yeah, that is a big difference. Just, you know, a little bit of color makes.
Right. So in this picture, you can see there's a lot of planting. They cut the grass. They could put a couple window boxes, but they painted the trim. So you have a little bit of, you know, dimension to the house. It's not bland and kind of all white. On the other side, this then and now, you have to remember, and I'm going to talk about that a little later, it's how the photo was taken. So from a certain angle, your house is always going to look better. And then, you know, you always want to look up. So this is something, again, with the right photographer, with a professional realtor, this is something they have an eye for. We've seen lots of houses. We've seen a lot of crappy pictures. And you should know how to guide the photographer to say, hey, listen, take it from this angle, take it from that. There's a giant tree in your front yard. How are you going to take a picture of the house? So all these things, you should really interview your real estate agents. Anyway, that's number one. Number two, to really neutralize, this is my favorite picture. You guess which one is my favorite picture. So really to neutralize. So even though I'm saying in general, might love the picture with the girls, with the pretty girls and stuff, that's fine, but to really maximize the potential of who is going to be buying this house, a teenage boy probably will not be the buyer of this house. So please neutralize. Like, think of hotel rooms. People love hotel rooms for a reason.
You gotta be able to show the room and know the use. It obviously seems to me that there's a teenager,
right,
or somebody, you know, young in this room. But if I have a baby, when I see this, it's like, I don't think that I can do this, because you want to just have like a blank canvas.
Neutral.
So what can I do with this room, right? Instead of trying to get yourself into something that is already there. So
exactly. And so what the whole process of staging is it's just to neutralize the space. So people, when they walk in the space, they can say, okay, I can see myself living here, and a bed will fit in the area, in this space, in this room. So really, when I buy a house, I might not keep it this way, but I know it's clean, it's white walls, I don't have to paint, I don't have to do anything, clean, 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 but also at the same time, I can put my own personal touch in when I move in. So I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about the posters and stuff like that. If you think about, what's the right way to go? If I still need to convince you of this, like, to be quite honest, think of other magazines, or think of Instagram or anything like that. You don't see, MLS photo. Well, you do sometimes see MLS photos like that, but you don't see magazine rooms. You don't see Instagram. You don't see Pinterest rooms look like this as something that, oh my God, look how fantastic this room is. People are not buying the stuff. They don't want to see your stuff. They want to know that you're going to move out quick and you have the least amount of stuff. So that's the minimized portion of that, is you have to pre-pack everything. Get rid of the posters. If you want to take them with you, wrap them up, put them away safely, store them somewhere else, clean out your, all that stuff on the counter, the dresser, get rid of it. Obviously there's too many clothes in the drawers. Like, you can clean that out and minimize what you need seasonally. You can make the bed. Please just make the bed. There are still lots of houses that I see that the beds are not made. So please take the effort to do it, because people need to see themselves live there. And who doesn't want a clean house? So this has to do, it's a psychological thing too, where people think, oh my goodness, it's going to take them forever to move all this stuff.
Yeah.
And this is just one room. Imagine the rest of the house. The rest of the house is probably packed with stuff too. So that's why I tell people, you know what, get a couple banker's boxes. You can write on them. They're stackable. They're nice and easy for one person to carry. Put your stuff in there. Put the person's name on it, whose room it is. Write it on there. Stash it under the bed even. These are the things that you can do easily. Pre-pack stuff. Have it in the room all nice and figured out, like all squared away. So when it comes time to moving, it's so easy. You don't have to do it. It's not a big rush. And that's why I'm saying 4 months to spring market, 4 or 5 months. Start now. Do all the stuff. Make your kids pack their stuff. Might as well do it now so they're not panicked, when it comes time to taking pictures and showing.
Plan.
So don't do that. So if I'm not clear, big red X. So this is my favorite. I know everybody, when you look at, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know this is a pet peeve of mine. And actually these pictures came out of an actual house that I was showing, beautifully renovated. I can't stress this enough. Please, contractors, please, flippers, please, homeowners, take the time. It takes you like one day to swap out all of these light fixtures, and it's very, very minimal cost. You can get, I think, 10 or 20 switches for $20. So it's $1 a switch. Then the covers are maybe $1, $2, something like that. But the impact it has. Why would I want to buy a house that, you know what this says to me? Again, psychological. That shows me that behind the walls, there's something going on. That there is no attention to detail in this house when they renovated. And that worries me. So so when it comes to inspection time, I'm going to inspect this even more. With the fine tooth comb.
Gives you a clue on what to do. And if you didn't look at the condition of these items, then what else do you miss? That's my thing when I see something like that.
Exactly. And you know what? Just people don't clean their light switches, especially now with COVID. Maybe they're doing it a little bit more. But that is one of the things that I see the dirtiest in houses, because we forget, we don't think about it. But this is something that we touch day in and day out, and how many people touch it day in and day out. So there's even, Alexa and all these, you can voice activate all your lights and things like that. So if you want to go, I'm not even saying to do that. You don't even have to go that far. But there is a little picture, the one below, where you don't see any screws. So this is a higher end kind of light switch, and it has maybe a dimmer on it, or it has, voice activation on it, things like that. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about just nice, the big flat switches are called Decora. So if you have a contractor, if you have a handyman saying, listen, I want all my light switches changed to Decora, they'll know exactly what you're talking about. And they're very simple and they're modern. So please do it. So next thing too, same thing, light and bright. When I say light and bright, I mean, yes, paint the house nice colors, white, really paint it all white. If, to be quite honest, let's just face it. Right now, people want white, because even though you might not like living in white, it's the best thing for people to inherit, because they can paint over and they don't have to do like 6 coats of primer, right? I'm sure you've seen houses like that too.
Oh, absolutely. The thing is, when you go into a new property, if you're going to show it, you got to make sure that everybody can see themselves there and adding their stuff to it, instead of removing the color. Oh my God, I don't like green, or I don't like purple, right? Those rooms is like, you go in there and they look dark, they look dim, no matter what you do.
Well, that's it.
32, even.
That's right.
So
you're
have that brightness.
Right. So you're getting ahead of me. So I just want to tell you, I've seen houses that still have that the before upper builder grade light fixture. This is from the 70s, people. Yeah. Like, it's older than me. So please just stay away from that. Stay away. Even the nipple lights. So these are, we have an industry kind of joke where they're either called booby lights or boob lights or nipple lights. So this is something really, really cheap. This is actually, the bottom one is better than the top one, but still they're getting this bad reputation because everybody does it and they're the cheapest. I think they're like $8, something like that. So just to upgrade like slightly. So the one that looks like a flying saucer. Yeah. I think those are about $40, $50. So there is a bit of a jump. And then when you get into this designer touch, they are expensive. So put them in the main rooms. I'm not saying you have to change every room, but in the hallways or in the main, feature rooms like the kitchen or the dining room, like spend a little bit of money, or the master bedroom. Like that is wow factor that you're going to create this kind of designer feel to your house that will bring you back money. People do want this. So think about that. So no booby lights. So what you're talking about too, to really this is a little example of when somebody's taking a before and after pictures. I've actually gone into my listings and changed the bulbs for them because a photographer can, do their little editing and make a room brighter. But then there's a letdown. There's that disappointment when people do see a house and they're like, oh my God, this house is so dark. Yeah. So you might as well change the bulbs. Look at the difference. It's crazy. So even though you do nice staging and you do all sorts of cleaning and things like that, your light bulbs are so, so, so important. So I can help you with that as well. So this is my favorite. I'm not saying you have to renovate, again, light and bright, but if you do have the budget, please think about your kitchen and your baths. This is a huge impact, just the paint of the cabinets. They didn't do anything different. Honestly, same stove, same microwave, same little, only painted white. Which kitchen would you rather have? Tell me. They threw a carpet down. It's not a lot of work. They did new hardware. Not a lot of work, not expensive. But oh my God, I would much rather buy the white kitchen. It's psychological. What can I say? I don't make the rules.
White is now kind of like the trend for kitchens. I love white cabinets. It's just, they pop out. They look clean. They look nice. I don't know. I prefer white cabinets.
Right. Even if they did a gray below, if you didn't like blue, if they did like a gray, a nice soft gray below cabinets, I'm telling you, it's a can of paint. It's nothing. So obviously, do it right. Get the right kind of paint. Take the doors off if you can. Yeah. Really sand them down. Get all the grease off first before you do, if you feel like doing it yourself. If not, hire a professional. There's lots of people that will do that for you. So these are my favorite. Renovate the bathroom if you can. Can you imagine? Look at the difference. Wow. Isn't that crazy?
Oh yeah.
So to really, I know you and I, we have a lot of renovating, but imagine this bathroom. So this is not a cheap reno. This is quite an expensive reno. They extended, it looks like even the pictures might be a little bit misleading, but they did extend the cabinet. So there's 2 sinks instead of 1. They took that weird angle off from the ceiling and they squared off the roof line. So things like this is a really big reno. So I'm just showing the picture because I really love it. So enjoy the picture.
It's the same space, right?
Right. But imagine how much more money, because somebody's going to walk into this and say, oh my God, I'm in love. And in love, when you get buyers to say that, I get goosebumps because they want the space. They will pay more for the space. They don't have to deal with the reno themselves. Exactly. You've done a lot of that work. This is very valuable to buyers. So, and what color is it?
It's just neutral color, right? Like if I see on the right-hand side, like just looking at the floor, it's bluish. Like that is old. when you have
Right.
bluish or greenish or pinkish.
Purple.
Yep. That's
Yeah.
all.
If you move in and you buy that bathroom, you know, you buy this house with the blue bathroom, there's only so much you can do with it, you know. And I hate to sound that I'm spoiled, because listen, there's, you know, why does Home Depot exist? They didn't exist like 20 years ago. Well, maybe they did exist 20 years ago, but not as popular as they are.
Yeah.
Because people know the value of renovating their house and keeping it, you know, up to a certain standard. So this renovation might buy them another 20 years at that house. They might not want to leave because now they have a functional, beautiful bathroom.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
love renos. And modernize. So even if you do a simple thing, like let's just say, imagine that they take the tile out, they leave the bathtub, but they modernize that cabinet.
Yeah.
There are things that you don't have to go full on and do the whole bathroom. There are smaller things you could do to renovate. So this is, again, depends on your budget, right? Oh, I think you're frozen a little. So number 4, treat yourself. How about that for like good advice? Buy yourself some nice things, because this has to do with staging. If you don't think you can afford a stager, stagers can be very, very expensive. $5,000 for, you know, bigger house. It depends on how much you need. But the soft furnishings, if you can pick up soft furnishings, oh my God, there's so many stores that you can buy good quality things that you take with you. To buy clean white towels, like we should all have nice bedding. So when you make a bed, even if you have people come over, I know with COVID, nobody's coming over, but make it easier for the stagers. You'll save tons of money. It doesn't have to be designery or fancy. These are very simple things. You can buy bedding online. The trick, my little tip for today, is when you have a queen size bed, buy king size coverlets. If you have, yeah, if you have a double bed, buy a queen size. So always go up one size, because that way, see how it falls nicely all the way to the floor? So buy the size up. It doesn't hurt if you go up a little bit. So that's my little tip for today. Especially if you buy online, because sometimes online, the only problem with that is sometimes the pillowcases are very big. So you have to buy bigger pillows, which is not a problem really. So the last tip, of course, is hire a great realtor. So this is why, this is my offer to you. If you want this in a PDF, if you want a list of things that you can do before you sell, I don't have to come to your house. You can contact me through Facebook, through Instagram, through email, whatever you want. And I will send you this list, a PDF list of things that you can do to fix up your house. There's a ton more things that you can do. But this is something just for you to get started, because you have the time before spring market. Or if you're in a hurry, you got to get this done. Hey, you know, you might have to hire someone just to expedite, but you can get it done. So that's why you hire a great realtor. Conditions. You want to get someone who keeps listing. This is the key. There are so many people out there that don't, they say, move-in condition, or, you know, some little blurb like that, but they're not telling you, they're not talking to the buyer. Like, you really need someone who can speak to the buyer and understand what they're looking for. And I hire pro to take amazing photos. And this is the example. Oh, that's me. Yay! Just to throw that in there. So I just wanted to show you, this is a really good example of how you know, how many listings do I see every day? How many MLS listings, like not the actual in person, but online? The photos that some of these photographers or realtors are taking, it's the same shot over and over and over. I think on MLS, you get between 20 and 30 photos per listing. So why not take different angles? I love this kitchen. It's a very small kitchen, but see how different the angles are?
Yeah, it looks bigger to me.
On the first one, you don't see the door.
No.
So anyway, so that's just my little example, making sure that as a realtor, it's not your job as a seller to vet the photographer and to know what kind of shots. So, and a lot of these realtors will say, photographer's coming at 2 o'clock today. Okay, bye. And then they don't even come. So they don't even see the photographer taking which shots. When I hire a photographer, I'm there with them and I see when they take a picture, which ones they do and how many they do. And if I don't like it, I'll say, I got to move those apples. I have to move the flowers. I have to do this. The artwork's not right. Let me bring in another another picture. So these are the things to highlight the beauty of your house and to minus the negatives. And if you don't have that right photographer to do that, who's going to be compelled to come to your house? Anyway, so I just wanted to give you a little
that is
like that.
Awesome. And you know, one thing that I can tell you is that I've seen it over and over again that people don't do the little things, and the little things are the ones that when you get to the house is like, oh,
makes all the difference.
It's just something that, you know, even mismatching colors in this scene, that is something that I noticed right away.
Right. But see, I got to go back to this picture because really, when you look at that last picture, if somebody just saw the picture on the left and they didn't know there was a door, but then somebody saw the picture on the right and said, oh, my kitchen goes out to the backyard. Wow, that's
nice. Yeah.
That's going to make a huge difference. I'm going to be compelled to come out and see the house. This is the thing. There are steps. The process to buying a house, most people look online first. If the house isn't compelling enough or exciting enough or interesting enough, they're not even going to come out and look at it. And that means you're not going to get an offer as a seller. So these are the things that we have to not get ahead of ourselves as realtors too, where we think, oh my God, the house is just going to sell itself. It's great. And it's in a great area. And, you know, I'm going to just sit back and, you know.
But maybe what is going to happen is the house is going to sell. But if you want the more money, gotta present it the best way.
Or what about multiple offers? So the more people that are excited about it, and we see this all the time. I see my buyers all the time and I tell them, don't look at the shiny bits. You're not going to get the staged furniture anywhere. Look at the bones.
Because you know what? This staging, what it does is basically it shows you a picture. Oh, it could look like this. It looks beautiful.
Right.
You really picture, you know, oh, maybe I can get something similar that I like, or my friend, right?
Yeah.
And it just gives you a little bit a nicer look, and when you come in, you're cozy. You feel that is okay. I can live in this house, right?
Right. That's exactly it. So if the person likes the location, if they can picture themselves living there, if they can see, you know, oh, I like this kitchen, I can cook in it, or oh, I like this backyard, I can see my kids play in the backyard. Yeah. That's why we minimize all the personal stuff. So if you have motors, let's just say, you know, whatever, you fix motorcycles in the backyard and it's a big junkyard. It's very unlikely you're going to sell it to somebody else who fixes motorcycles. So you want to make sure it's neutralized. So this is the thing, like, let's say whatever other crazy things, like big statues in the front yard, you might love them, but not everybody does. Yeah. so that's why, you know, to go back to those tips. So again, if you are interested in getting a PDF of a list of things that you want to do, just shoot me a line, and Araceli is going to put the contact information.
Yeah, and I'm going to put that information below so you can contact Colette directly. But just remember, if you need to figure out how you're going to save for your house, and remember, the house is a big, big investment to do, especially now in the GTA. So,
well, even how to do these renovations. So if you need money, talk to Araceli first, because she'll set you a budget and she'll tell you, okay, this is what you can, you know, either you have to save for it before you hire someone, or this is how much you can budget, you know, for, and then do this. And she'll find money either in RSPs or in your savings to really do the calculations for you, because that, to me, I mean, I have a hard time myself doing it.
Yeah, so take the time to just go over everything that you're doing, especially if you have, or you are afraid maybe you're going to lose your job or change your job, anything that is going to affect your income. Because remember, everything, it's just depending on the income that you bring in and how it is distributed. So just take the time to go over, do a financial plan if you haven't done one in a while. So it's always good to review every 5 years or less. It depends in your circumstances. If you're moving or if you have a new member of the family coming in, things like that happen, that's a great opportunity for you to do another plan and move forward with it. So,
well, and the other thing too is I think there's a lot of people that get complacent. So, you have two working parents, and then you have kids that are either thinking of going to school, or they are going to, go to university in a few years, or even like right away. This is something that, talk to Araceli about that, because it's really, I don't, it's funny. I don't want people to sell their houses if they don't have to. So,
absolutely.
yeah, which is, again, don't tell my brokerage I said that, because, of course that's my job. I want to sell your house for you. But if you don't have to, if there's another way to do it, then talk to Araceli. She will find out either, to consolidate your debt, or to, there's always a way to do it, or to rent out your house or a portion of your house, or sell a vehicle, or sell things that are taking up space in your life that you don't need anymore. So, these are the things that you need a second opinion for someone to actually, scary enough as it is, but to dive in and really look at those things. Araceli will be gentle with you, I promise.
I will try my best, right?
Yes.
But remember, at the end of the day, this is your life, and we want you to be the best. So don't wait. If you think that there is going to be some trouble, especially financially, just talk to myself. If you think about selling the house, talk to Colette. But if you talk to both of us, we will give you the best advice. Of course, we will want you to keep the house if you can,
right?
Because I do believe in real estate, and that the best appreciation is within real estate. So, well, with that, this is amazing. Thank you so much, Colette, for.
And of course, we have to say we both do free consultation. So don't fear that, there's no charge for just talking to us. So we're very easy that
just
way.
talk to us and see, tell us a little bit more about the situation that you're in. And we'll be happy to tell you, we can help you. We can give you some tips, directions, or anything like that. So
exactly.
Happy to work with you. So
yay!
Okay.
Thanks for joining us.
And I will see you next week. So
next week.
Come in.
Okay.
Bye.
That's good. Bye.